Coda's mooching. And she's mooching on something that she usually doesn't like. I'm not sure I should tell you what it is because it's not exactly healthy for humans to eat things this way. It's a raw food. And usually she turns her nose up at it. You gotta show your face on camera. If you want it, you gotta show your face on camera. Come on. You dropped it. You dropped it. It's a guilty pleasure. I come over here and show everybody your pretty face. No, I'm not gonna show anybody my pretty anything. It must be the salt. I don't normally salt my food at all, but I salted the crap out of this. And she doesn't usually eat this. Hi, Lonix. We're enjoying a tasty snack. Well, I think it's a tasty snack, and apparently Coda thinks it's a tasty snack, but I would not recommend people eat this. I have weird gut. You're a giant mooch. That piece was less bristly. That was good. I'm going to try to finish eating this really fast here. You want to come and show your pretty face again? I'm not admitting it on air. Ask me in Discord. I'll tell you in Discord. And no going, ew, gross! In part because I know that, you know, other people will think it's ew, gross anyways. You have this piece that's probably not. Apparently, I have to remember to salt my food more often, because now it's apparently tasty. Ooch. Usually, she hates the snack. Usually, I give her pieces, and she spits them out, and I find them all over the house later. Oh, also, there are mods for Vampyr. Just no mods that I really want. They're all, really bad reshades. Oh, I was supposed to give you one. Is that what this is about? What's the button? It's that one. Found the secret one? I don't know what possessed me to order this today either. I'll give you the last two pieces. Mom should be done with this. Yep. Come here. Come here. Come here. No, come here. Come on. No, you gotta come here. You can do it. There we go. It's all gone. It's all gone. Oh. There's this tiny little... That's it. Now it really is. Ooh, excuse me. Pardon me a moment, guys. I'm going to open a soda, and I don't want to deafen you. Yes, that was a silented oops. Alright. I wonder if Dr. Jonathan Reed would approve of what I just ate. Probably not. Also, I kind of wonder if I've been doing the game, playing wrong, because there are all kinds of save files online, which is what the majority of the mods are on Nexus Mods. They're just save games. No, honey, there is no more. It is all gone. We has eaten it all. Why is the door not open? Open the door! Oh, that's not the door. That's the door. Open the door!
I'm not one to make wait, Doctor. I've patients to attend.
Sure you do, Dorothy.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
I've got some of my tasty snacks stuck in my teeth. I got everything out here. I got it. Move it, Nurse Crane. We got exploring to do. Some of the stuff doesn't become lootable until later in the game, but we all already know that. I played this twice last year. Oh, also, apparently, I only have 39% of the achievements. Which means there are a crap ton of achievements to get. Also, it is very hot in here. It's 78 degrees. All right. That's the front door.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Oh, at least that one's dead. And one of the things that's always confused me is why there's a way up here. I don't think I ever saw whatever secret is supposed to happen up here. Excuse me! Oh my goodness, that's so rude. And we can't jump over there. What? Who's Thomas?
This is no time to sell.
I don't remember a Tom. Who is Thomas? Oh, Thomas Elwood. Never mind. I know who Thomas is. I promise I'm perfectly sane. We're mostly perfectly sane. Or at least mostly sane. I think I'm sane. crazy people question their sanity? I know there are at least 3 more Scow. Very good. Am I too close to get out? I can take out at least one of these guys. Ow. Also did not manage to take out the guy. Dadgummit all. God bless it, how the hell did you... Since when are you guys ads? Boy, they give up easy, though. What are we disagreeing with Faye outside of my cage for? I know I made a comment about disagreeing about things being tasty. Or gross. But that was a while ago. Did you figure out what I was eating? Oh, my sanity. Okay. Wait. What do I need to do to get rid of that? Jiminy crickets. I was waiting for you to send me a message on Discord, but you never did. Oh, you heard me? What did you hear? How did you hear? What you say? Somebody said I bust a bomb. Woo! Dang it. As I promptly get snacked on again. Damn it. That was not fun. I don't think I'm going to be a high enough level to handle the insanity inside of the morgue. I'm gonna need to keep my eyes open, but I think one of the ingredients for stuff that we have the ability to make is hydroxychloroquine. And I don't think I realized how completely funny that was last year. Cox. When did you get up here?
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
You're lucky you lived.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
Uh-huh.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff.
Fuck
As
you
long as
then.
I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
Sure you won't. You'd never get caught, would ya? I wonder I couldn't find anybody. Alright, so I have an answer prepped if you ever want to actually ask.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
You're not coming back. Yes, like, actually ask. Because I don't want to tell you what it was, and then have you be like, I didn't need to know that.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Also, I refuse to answer on, like, actually answer verbally on stream. So, you will receive an answer via Discord. So you can either ask in Discord or ask in chat, but the answer will come in Discord. Hey, Mr. Cox.
Hey, Doc.
I have to actually look at it.
I'll leave you for now. Alright, so we're just gonna really quick look at all of these letters. It's not that I'm addicted to it, it's just I need to learn to actually use it. It's kind of like back in the day when I needed These
to learn to
men,
actually use
They're a company of...
Facebook.
Hey, Doc.
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
Uh-huh.
Do you want it back?
I don't need it here, but if you'd be kind enough to bring it to me, I'd be really grateful.
A grateful Clay Cox? I might just find your knife and bring it back to you to see that happen.
I can give you directions, but I'll be surprised if you manage to find it. My hideout isn't meant to be found easily.
Oh, would you rather
A
that I
lucky
have
charm.
conversations with you on Twitter?
I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We
I
all have
actually
our
hardly
flaws, Doc.
ever do anything on
Mine's
Twitter
to have
unless
my
it's
weapon
to
and
tweet that I'm
shorts, but
about
when
to
the
stream
really
anymore.
dirty business
With
comes
rare
around.
exceptions. I do occasionally, like, retweet things that other people have tweeted and stuff, but...
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Excuse me. Oops, that's not the right one. We've got all of his hints. He has a thing for me, and I have to cure him to get full experience points for him.
What we are capable of. It is now or never.
Miss, please, I feel sick. Get over here now.
So, since this isn't going to be the direct answer, maybe you want to know? I don't know. Is it bad? I mean, it's not exactly healthy,
When I
and
get
normal
back, I'll
adult
have a
humans
word
should
with
not
Tom.
be eating it.
He's really pissed me off this time.
Is it weird? Kind of. But you can get it at the grocery store, and it is for humans. Just not the way I eat it. I mean, sometimes I cook it.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Alright. Let's see here.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every
Milton
day.
is using up my F-bombs, goddammit.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
They're not alive.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin color that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
Oh, 40 shillings.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
Alright, I have a Monty Python song stuck in my head now.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Well, goodness gracious, at least you eventually got to the actual bed.
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know that.
Have you no shame?
Don't you see this city is crumbling down? Today, people are ready to pay to get a hospital bed. Tomorrow, we may be fighting for food.
Oh, goodness gracious. Lose it.
Goodbye, Milton.
If only I were young again. Just a dozen years or
This
so.
is no time for self-pity. It is...
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
I don't want to F up some of these, because some of these are worth a lot of money. Well, experience, not money.
Yes, Doctor?
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
I've thought about doing that, but then I would invariably end up waking up to somebody playing, like, Valorant or Overwatch or something like that, and I just don't find any of that appealing.
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Also, besides which, of late I've been falling asleep to Corpse Husband again, because even though they're scary stories, and his voice has that deep, gravelly rumble, and you would think that would make things scary, it's very soothing, and it makes falling asleep a lot easier. Most of the time. I've been going to bed on time, but I've only been getting like 6 hours of sleep. I have no idea what's going on. Other than it's getting warm in my room, because it's just getting warm. I don't know.
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
Morgue.
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
Uh-huh. Bye.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you.
I found out something about Thomas.
Good evening,
and I
Miss
accidentally talked
How
to
are you tonight?
From your
fucking
blood, Doctor.
wrong
Warm,
person.
Rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
No. The housemate
I'm
has not
sure,
turned
Doctor.
the furnace on.
I think
Out
we have
here,
a bond of some
I
sort.
have an oil-filled
Both suffer
heater
so
on.
much. He's the
That's
only
why it's
mortal
warm over here.
I find interesting.
But that's because Sarge's enclosure is supposed to be about 85 degrees. And it's hard to keep it that way with just a ceramic heat emitter without causing hot spots on the ground of over 110 degrees. It's easier if I keep the ambient air warm so that I don't have to have the ceramic heat emitter turned all the way up.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Actually trying to talk to you, Thomas.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
I think I usually say beauty is not everything.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Oops.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Well, now Thomas will never be worth his full experience
Goodbye
points. I
for
think
now,
I've fucked that up every time.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Still can't open that.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. I feel better already. Can I go soon?
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
No, we won't. Not until after he turns into a skull.
Damn. The pain.
I want to find everything out about everybody, but I also don't want to waste too much of our time. But also I'm scared to go inside of the morgue. What the hell is the door to the morgue? That's not the door to the morgue. That's the front door to the morgue. in this room. I swear that was a partial Wilhelm scream. I definitely do not want to go downstairs yet. Oh, I can't go downstairs yet. I need a key. Which I'm pretty sure is... Really? Just some shillings? Oh, the key's upstairs. Where I remember there being more than that.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Forget the clove oil. Would you believe me if I told you that this game was partially responsible for me deciding to add whole cloves to my tea as a sort of a antiseptic? Not really an antiseptic, analgesic.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Quinine. Vial. Cigarette case. Bullets.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Alcohol. Who jumps in curved arcs? How is that even possible? Jerk. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. I want to know where he came from. That door never ends up being able to be opened. I don't know how I got scared by that, but I totally ended up scared by that. I am level 6. The highest level guy downstairs is level 9. There is going to be a lot of dying. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, I have an idea. We still have stuff that we need out of the morgue in order to finish the quest in the morgue. But let's see here. This way. Are you guys dead or are you back? Still dead? Still dead. Okay. Oh, you're level 10. Come on now.
When I get back, I'll have a word with Tom. He's really pissed me off this time.
The Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know. I met him in New York once.
It's safe for Reed in Edinburgh.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
The Pembroke sounds more like a mental institution than your standard hospital. Oh, come on. I was over there once already. I don't remember how to get there. How do I not remember how to get there? Because I'm an idiot, that's why. I don't think it's down this way either. She's level 14. 15. That's a fool's errand. Come here. Hey, rat boy. Cheese boy. Come to me.
This is despicable.
Meh. Darn it, I really wanted to freaking do this one because I could get some quick experience points. Some mark. Oh. I'm paying attention to the wrong thing on my map. That'll learn me. Sitting there going, but I know I've already been there before. Follows the entirely wrong thing. Wrong place. It's doable. It's only 2 of them. I'm tooting it's one of them. Ow.
Get our weapons ready! We found one!
Yay! We did it! Oh, I can't do that right now. Nope. Those guys up in there are too high level for me. Alright, well, I guess I have to go and die a bunch of times now. You ready to do some dying? I'm not not gonna go in there and be like, and now we're just going to do nothing but die. Just so that we can get 5 experience points per kill. But I'm also not going in here going with the idea that I'm gonna, you know. Well, I mean, we still have to find Cox's knife. And we need to do a couple other things in the hospital. And I don't think that I'm going to miraculously just survive in here. I know me. You know me. Yeah. Scary. Ooh, spooky. Are you upstairs? Is there still guy upstairs? No? I guess the only thing to do is go downstairs. We have 615 experience points right this second.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Damn it, Faye, listen to your body. Or Jonathan's body, as the case may be. Damn you anyway! Jerk. Dark corners are dark as frickin' dark. Yeah, very descriptive, right? Still there.
It's locked.
Death report.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Oh, that's easy. We're right here.
Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
I still don't remember what brings us to the conclusion that this is Tippett's patient. And this just goes. This room. Can't open that yet. Oh, God. Other... Oh, he's got a shadow, that's right. God damn it, Faye. Stop putting your finger on the wrong button. Haven't even really done him any damage. Damn it all. my chance.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Oh, that's a workstation. I did it. Barely, but I did it. I was almost ready to give up, too. Excuse me. Alright. Real quick, guys. I gotta run to the bathroom. I will be right back. I tell you, the mic sometimes does not want to work right. So we know at least one person who needs this. Or I can kill him, among other things. Boy, where the heck did we get that? If I remember right, we're gonna be faced with some more guys on our way back. Hopefully they're not the guards for pre-one. It's been a while. Hitting all the wrong buttons there, Faye. It was just a blank black blob on the stairs there. I could tell there was someone there, I just couldn't tell there was someone there. Get the heck off of me! Let's kill your friend here. Jerk. Jerk McGurk. Or shiggles. Okay. Then there's also no point in going upstairs. it's not as bad as I remember. I know that the morgue ends up infested with guards of Prewin. But apparently I don't remember when that happens. Anything find in here? Any stuffs? No, no stuff. What am I looking for? I'm sorry. In the medicines, Dorothy Crane, in the patient's room. Which patient's room? Clearly not that patient. Where are these patients? You're Pippa.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
The woman's a creeper!
Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Ouch.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
That is definitely a small blessing.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen.
How
As for
can we
me,
be sure we're making a difference?
what a blundering idiot.
Oh my god. Have you seen this letter before? Yes. Yes, I have. It's, from Fiddick.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
I don't know, but I found this letter that you wrote.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
We seem to have found all of his, doohickeys. He's also only level 1. We could easily mesmerize him right
How can we be sure we're making a difference?
I don't want to do that just yet. 'Cause I
Goodbye
think
for
he's
now,
tied
Mr.
in
Fiddick.
with the,
I'll see you
thing
later.
between
I will not let you down, my
Strickland
boy.
and, who's it?
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Maybe? Not yet.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
That's not a problem. I just don't want to do
I'm
it
quite
yet.
busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Oh, at least that didn't fail anything.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Will we? Will we really? Hey, Pippa.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins, but are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke, but we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon. Don't you see the futility of all this?
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
If you can't tell, I haven't bothered to look up a how-to with any of this.
How can you be affected by the misery around you, and be so heartless at the same time? Which is the real you, Nurse Hawkins?
I could ask you the same question, Dr. Reed. Are you more real when you lie to a dying patient, or when you grant him useless medication?
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening,
Can't
Miss
remember if we'd found anything
How are
new
you
out,
tonight?
so.
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Sure you do.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
I mean, she's not wrong.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Well,
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
duh. Damn.
Goodbye, Milton.
Not yet. Oh, hey. Yes.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
I shouldn't be laughing. This is a very serious topic. Mortimer is suffering from an extreme form of depression, I think brought on by his overprotective, domineering, and just god-awful mother. And the fact that he attempted, and likely nearly succeeded, in killing himself.
Safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
says a lot about how far gone he was. This I should add mental illness to the list of
We can handle this.
genre for this game.
Doctor.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
Fine.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
I'm going to eat you first. I feel like that's not the right thing to talk to her about right now.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen.
Can I turn everybody into vampires? Is that a thing I can do? Let's do that.
I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
I know we can. We have to. I think the only person we actually get that option with is, there are two. Dr. Swansea and, Aloysius. Aloysius? Aloysius, that was... There it is!
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust.
Oh no, we're gonna give it back to Mortimer. We're not fools. Huh. Okay. I don't know if we ever got that one before. In part because I don't think we ever used this bed before, so I don't think I've ever been in this room. No, I have been because I've opened that. I think we get the key to that from Mortimer for giving him the letter back. We still need to find Cox's knife. Now all of a sudden things have stuff in them. You have stuff in you too? Stuff in you.
Fear and disgust on every street
What about you?
I'm so tired.
Stop acting
Well, this
surprised,
shift never
Faye.
ends. You always knew the
But
words
in the
to calm the
circumstances,
children,
I'm...
Helen.
Good evening, Doctor.
How's
You
my
are
son
not the
doing?
person I wanted to talk to.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Get out of my way, Mrs. Goswick.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now please, let me be.
No!
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
The world is bleak, but maybe the pain we feel is the best compass for making it a better place.
How can we repair the world, Dr. Reed, when mankind is the biggest problem? Yes, the world will be a much better place when we're gone.
I mean, not to be a party pooper, but there are certainly days I feel that.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Oh, goodness gracious, we have 1800 experience points.
My sweet girl reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
And of course, the whole reason everything now has something in it is because we've unlocked the recipe for a bunch of stuff. Let's go talk to Dr. Swansea. I still want to know what sort of thing we're supposed to spy on over here.
It's locked.
I know it's locked, but I still wanted to try to open it. Jonathan. I have a cousin named Jonathan.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Oh, it's entirely too large.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many
But that skull
mysteries
is
have
the
been
same
brought to
size
light
as your
with our
fleshed head.
microscopes. The human body. Biology's penultimate frontier.
But
The
that
more we
skull
explore
is
its
too
boundaries, the less we're
big.
able to trace a clear line between life and death.
If you put flesh on that head, it would be
You,
huge.
my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
No, Rakesh should bless it. Weights. Not the kind you lift, the kinds you use to measure things with on scale. Okay. Let's see. That's where to get open stuff. Open stuff. Rakesh. I don't remember which one is which, or if they're in a particular order, so we're just gonna flip through everything real quick here.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Pretty sure we already talked to those two about that. Dr. Waverly.
Might help.
Dr. Strickland. Former doctor should get on. Why can't I say this? Where in the nine hells is he? Garbo. Oh my god, it's a copy of Dracula! Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Have you heard of someone blackmailing people in the hospital?
Pardon me, sir, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during the war, Rakesh.
The regiment administration appointed me by mistake. I had to learn the job on the spot, sir. Very hard, sir. But I rose to the challenge.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise a medical education. People could die at your hands.
You're absolutely right, sir. But as a field surgeon, it was more like being a butcher.
Do you believe you have really helped these people?
My ratings were within the averages of the regiment. I saved lives, Dr. Reed. Does that not say enough about triage and war surgery?
Do you realize how many soldiers died because of that decision? You should have refused.
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one listened. When the first wounded arrived, I had to do what I could.
It is an unbelievable story, Mr. Chidana.
It was a time beyond belief, Dr. Reed. But I'm happy not to deal with the wounded. I prefer caring for the dead now.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
I think I have to stand over. No, it's not here. It's here?
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir. And I thank you for your generous donation.
Oh, Chidana. I think that must have been Pippa who was in here a second ago when I was all, you know, vampire eyes.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Uh-huh.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
You should show respect for the dead. What about their loved ones who may treasure these items you sell?
The bodies I watch over are the unwanted and undesired, sir. I would never deprive anyone of their family artifacts.
Have you heard of someone blackmailing people in the hospital?
Pardon me, sir, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Pardon me while I just steal this opium.
Tomorrow, more bodies will
Alright, let's see here. Let's go find the knife so that we can kill Clay. Oh, look at that. We've accomplished quite a bit, actually.
I
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Not really.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Says the guy who cost some poor soul his life.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that.
Oops.
I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Oh. I was concerned I may have effed myself over there for a second. I feel like I should wait on this.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
It is now or never.
When I get back, Oliver...
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
What is it with you and the side eye, lady?
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett.
Harder they fall.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
Oops. I just keep failing things left and right.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Any more boxes? There's another box! Apparently doesn't count.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough.
How did I miss that?
Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Quick thing here. I can't help but continue to react in my normal manner to all of these. Even though I plan on basically killing everybody.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient, or their family.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions, and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence, has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
That's a cello.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Are you now?
Have you heard about any blackmail going on in this hospital?
Blackmail? Nonsense.
Not right now, honey. You gotta wait until Mama's done with the stream. You went out before the stream, now you gotta wait until after the stream.
What do you think of Dr. Tippett's opinion of your promotion, Waverly?
Tippett is a good practitioner. Maybe just a little too attached to his prestigious position at the Pembroke Hospital.
Really? That's exactly his diagnosis of you. A little too eager to get promoted? A little bit too proud?
He has the right to think so. But I deserve this promotion, and I don't consider it anything but well-earned.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Will we now? I don't care about you, Dorothy.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Actually,
have you heard any talk of blackmail going on in the hospital?
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patients. They know more than the staff, especially old Miss Jones.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Oh my god, so many experience points right now. Dorothy.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
No!
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Dorothy, where'd you go? Alright.
Dr. Reed, may I help you?
Yes, talk to me about the blackmail.
Have you heard rumors about blackmail within the hospital?
I don't have time to listen to all the idle gossip that floats in these halls, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have had run-ins with the law?
Doctor, you've hardly been here and you're already questioning the moral fortitude of the staff.
With reason.
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane? I've been out of touch since I've come back to England.
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
What can you tell me about our patients here at Pembroke?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
Can you be more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
For how long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911, a few months after Dr. Swansea was appointed.
And before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing staff?
Not in an official capacity, but the Pembroke doesn't always work above board, so to speak.
Yep. And it's not.
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reed, we don't have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End. We do what we can.
I'm still hoping that by next year this time, it'll finally be over. But I fear that we'll be on, like, variant Zeta.
How is the duty roster organized?
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and shed a silent tear.
Oh, shed a silent tear, huh? That's it.
I'll see you later, Nurse Crane.
I mean, there's not much else I can say. Is it over? No. Do I wish it was? Yes.
I'm so tired.
But I fear that we're in for a long and drawn-out pandemic. Because, A, the US refuses to share the vaccines, and I don't mean the produced vaccines, I mean the know-how, the patents for the vaccines. And since we refuse to do that, there are countries like India that have giant populations. I mean, they're roughly 1/5 of the world's population, just like China. And, you know, they can't manufacture the vaccine. Countries all over Africa can't manufacture vaccines because they don't have the... This is true. If the pandemic had never happened, that would not be a thing. Because it was too easy to force people into working in an office. And I think at this point, I'm proving to my boss that I can be trusted to remain at home. I'm really, really hoping that I get to just keep working. I don't want to go back to the office.
A giant morgue disguised.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. I feel better already. Can I go soon?
No. You won't talk to me
Goodbye,
about
Mr. Hampton.
the
We'll talk again later.
blackmail, so.
I need my medication.
You need to shut up. You're a bad woman. And there's nothing in your room that I need except to talk to you. Oh, apparently there is something.
What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
I don't think an intern.
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here. You've picked the wrong fight.
Oh, Harriet
I'm
Jones.
Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Harriet Jones,
Better
former
than
Prime
any
Minister.
patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Well, she was a redhead, though.
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
And this is a me thing, I don't care. I don't want to have Nerf gun fights. I want to sit at my desk, I want to take my call, finish my notes, and take the next call. I don't want to talk to my neighbor. I don't want to talk to some random person that I'm friends with in the office who just happened to be on break, so they stopped by my desk and talked to me for 15 minutes while I was working. I would be the office hermit. I would, like, if I could, I would build a roof over my cube and put a door on it and be like, stay the F out. Working. Go have your office culture over there. Sorry. Little rant. I'm done.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off they are.
How about I help you pop off?
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have
I
the
don't know
staff
why I'm
behave
still
in
shocked by
such
this
a manner
woman.
here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Small bag
The
of
patients
junk.
and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
I've already been talking to them.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Have you heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games. My secrets are beyond their comprehension, Dr. Reed.
I'll leave you,
The
Mistress of
only
the
thing we have left with her
to your
is
nocturnal
the investigation. Hi, Nurse Hawkins. Oh god, I thought that was Dr. Swansea for a second. I was like, what? Where is Pippa? There she is.
The pain.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pippa, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I get that. And I haven't told you this yet. I was nominated for an award at work for my customer service. In the same email they told me that, they also told me I didn't win. Don't you love that?
But you're doing something important here. For all the patients who need your help.
We save lives, sure. Each time we send a cured patient home, it's a relief beyond words. But since the epidemic, I feel so powerless.
Yeah. That's officially worth all of her experience points. Yep. Hey, you were nominated by a coworker and you know, coworkers amongst all the other projects for this customer service award. But we didn't choose you. Thanks for the confidence boost. I really appreciate it.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
And real quick here, let me just be super clear. Now, I'm not really mad at all about it, but it did hurt a little bit. You know, why bother telling someone that they've been nominated for an award and in the same breath tell them that they didn't win? That actually was more hurtful than not knowing at all. Also, one of these days I'm going to figure out how to get this thing to just stay screwed on and not becoming loose and like flinging itself anytime I move the mic.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She's not wrong.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Alright, let's see here. I already spoke with Dorothy, didn't I? Dorothea.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
There's Pippa. There's Miss Howcroft.
This is no time for self-pity. It is the last thing our patients need.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
I will do that.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Now you're Pippa.
So many deaths. And still more coming. How can we be sure?
Dorothy go?
Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Alright. Don't waste your time.
I know you're alright. Wormer. Where in the nine hells is Dorothy? Swansea, Pippa, Beatrice. Gimme. Don't have the key for that. Don't have the key for this either. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's just it. It all happened at once. Like, they received the nominations, and then they were like, this person won! And I still don't actually know who the winner was. I don't even know if they announced the winner. I didn't even know there was an award. Oh, you're Howcroft. Where is Dorothy? Where'd she go? Gimme! Gimme! Ergot! Harriet. Swansea. Hippo. See, this smacks of somewhere that I'm supposed to go to do one of the listening in things. But then I've never actually found the listening in thing that goes for that. Gimme, 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 gimme. Oh, I see gimme. More ergot. I swear they're trying to make me make hallucinogens. Holy crap, I didn't realize that there was... I don't know how I missed that that was ergot.
I'm managing a train terminal.
I don't think I have a high enough mesmer level to mesmerize Chidana.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Yeah, no, don't have a high enough level.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Tomorrow,
Did we? I don't remember doing it.
Sadly depart. I'm managing a train tunnel.
I just remember being... I'm thinking... What goes on here? What? Why is this the thing? I also don't remember having so many experience points at this early in the game. Well, frankly, ever. No shillings, no shillings. Dorothy! Oh, a spring. No springs! Apologies, only people who are super Mystery Science Theater 3000 fans probably would recognize that. Whoa, who are you?
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going
I mean,
on?
I know
I'm
who
Blight,
he is,
sir.
but...
Newton Blight. I've lost my mate.
Really?
Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please,
Clearly I'm
calm
bad at
down
remembering.
and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... Well, we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend.
It clearly means fear of rats. Rats? When did you eat
This is
rats,
a dangerous part
Lily?
of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. He...
Found it.
We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is... nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Eavesdropping?
Don't worry, we're safe. No one is here.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Meanwhile, Nurse Crane just straight up steals Dr. Swansea's boat. If the door is closed, how the F did you get over here? Well, I mean, now we have free passage between that. So I guess that's the thing.
Please, I've dodged death so many times. Get over here now! Oswald, you can't just die like this.
Hey, Doc.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in the hospital?
Blackmail? That's not my style. Too risky. The black market, though.
Actually, it's
That's
not
where
going to
the
poof,
money
but...
is.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
It's almost 9:45. Let's see here. We have just explored almost everything.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Alright, so... Need his knife. Need to track her people. Where's the pharmacy? Yeah, that's kind of what I want to know. Can I get there? I don't think I can get there yet. What about...
Patients are not fools. They know we are overwhelmed by this horrifying epidemic.
Fox, is your knife downstairs?
Can you remind me why we still work here?
Dr. Reed will help straighten things out in...
Yep, more or less. I think we're going to take ourselves up to the room and sleep. I just realized I could have taken the shortcut. At this point, though, it would be the long cut. To fatigue. 3 fatigue. 3 fatigue. Yeah. Alright, let's evolve. So it's still early in the game. I don't really see a point in putting into the big boys, as it were. So we'll probably stick with the things that I can do more with in the early game. my goodness, we're level 8. Yay! So all of this is level 2. I think the next level on each of these is 600. But it might also be 900, I don't remember. $600, okay. Don't worry, we will eventually start putting points into the big stuff. Right now, we don't really need it. Ooh, and we're level 9! Holy crap! I haven't had to do, you know, death leveling. That's, pretty incredible. Alright. So, now's the time when we say goodnight! I'm gonna pull my mic down. And it's still kind of sort of out of, range. But now I don't have to really yell quite so much. Not that I really yell. I'm not really yelling at the games or anything. I just want to say thank you again to everybody. I appreciate it. I especially appreciate Lunix being here pretty much every night, talking to me. I know that's got to start feeling kind of like a job at this point. But, I really do appreciate it. It's a lot more interesting to play a game if I've got somebody to talk to, even if the conversation isn't necessarily about the game. So, thank you everybody. Sleep tight, don't let the Fae bite, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. We are getting close to actually starting to kill people, I promise. I just like to make sure they're worth the experience points before they die. And, you know, I finish all of their stuff. Yeah. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.